Good day and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So I wanted to conduct a Horn of Africa update. I wanted to try to give better uh, context in terms of what actually the TDF, the Tigrayan Defense Forces, control in terms of central Tigray. We're trying to make it as simple as possible. And at the same time, uh, there have been reports coming in from Ethiopian army leadership in terms of some recent successes that they have had. These successes, if you will define them as successes, is they simply move into areas that become vacated by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. And when they leave, at which point the TDF then moves back into those areas, because the Ethiopian army cannot be every place at every time, especially considering that it is occupying some of the larger cities and towns, and it requires significant manpower to occupy sites such as Mekelle and other areas within the Tigray region. But just real quick, uh, the area of central Tigray that the TDF controls. If you cruise over here from Shire down the B30 highway, everything east of the B30 that runs north south and east west, this whole area right here where my cursor is under the control of the Tigray Defense Forces. The only area that the Ethiopian army controls and tries to maintain control is the major artery that runs from Adwa south. And the Ethiopian army controls the major towns along this artery. But the spaces in between those towns, the Tigrayan Defense Force are able to pass east and west rather freely. And then once you get past this corridor that the Ethiopian army does somewhat control in terms of towns, this area right here, leading all the way to the A2 highway, again, is under the control of the Tigrayan Defense Forces, and this extends all the way towards the Tigray River itself. And then there's operations that are taking place to the east of the A2 highway as well. So predominantly the TDF is operating rather freely from the A2 highway all the way west towards the B30 highway. So again, this entire area here is predominantly under the control of the Tigrayan Defense Forces. Now, that's not to say that they control Mekelle. Obviously, that's not the case. But in between west of Mekelle, all the way to B30, is controlled by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. And again, if the Ethiopian army is not there, they do not control it. And they are, meaning the Ethiopian army, the Eritrean army, uses a lot of manpower to occupy these larger cities: Mekelle, Axum, Adigrat, Shire, and that's their strongholds. They can move into areas, certain areas, as they wish, and they're trying to keep certain areas open. But again, they're under significant stress because the Ethiopian army, the Eritrean army, is having some extreme difficulty of penetrating these mountainous regions of central Tigray. Thanks, everybody.